Hey everyone, my name is Christabel. I am a cybersecurity and privacy consultant. Now, in this video, I want to show you the only data privacy roadmap that you need to get started from novice to expert. So imagine having the power to help so many people, organizations protect their data. In a world where data is the new gold, and with the growth of technology, data becomes even more important. This is a career that has longevity, that is rewarding, that is fulfilling, and is definitely a career that you want to learn more about. By the end of this video, you're going to have a clear roadmap on how you can get started from novice to expert with knowing everything that you need to know to get started in data privacy and data protection. Right here, we're looking at the career map for cybersecurity. Now, data security and privacy is a domain in cybersecurity. What we have highlighted here in light yellow talks about your trajectory, where you can start as a novice to expert level, where you can start as entry level to leadership level in data security and privacy. So we can see you can start as a entry level data security and data privacy analyst, working your way into like consultant, data protection, privacy lead. And as a senior executive, you can see yourself working as a lead or like a senior executive level of ethics and compliance, or executive level of privacy, data protection, and so on. Another thing I want us to look at here is certifications. So certifications are really important to learning and to growth and can open up opportunities for you in the market. Highlighted here in yellow again is pertaining to data privacy and data protection. So when we talk about that, we talk about asset security. Asset security is pretty much data privacy and data protection, because we're talking about how do we secure our assets, and data falls under our assets. So if we see, this goes from entry level as well, from bottom to top to expert level. So from your intro level, you can look at certifications like CIPP. And if we click on here, it's going to show us more information about our certification. It is $550 for the exam. And we can also see all the certifications that are available to you. And if we go up here, we can see the certified identity management professional, that is $295. We can also see the CIPA, and then we can also see the DSCI, and we can see the CIPT, which is Certified Information Privacy Technologist. This is also $550. Now, very quickly, I just want us to look at the websites. Now, this is one website that you want to bookmark if you're very much interested in this field. This is the IAPP website. It is a privacy professional community. They do certifications as well as hold conferences, and one of those conferences actually is right here. So if you're in Los Angeles or you can make it there, you definitely want to make it to this conference where you're going to meet fellow privacy professionals who are already in the field, and you can get your tickets as well. And just going back to the certifications, so they have several certifications. They have the Artificial Intelligence Governance Professional. So I know a lot of people have been asking me about what AI certifications can I take. This is one of those certifications. And then if you also look at the other certifications that they have the Certified Information Privacy Professional. It talks about what you will learn from taking the certification. They also have the Certified Information Privacy Manager. So this is a managerial role certification, a managerial certification. They have the CIPT as well, which we already looked at. So you definitely want to take a look at their website to see what certifications are out there that you can take to learn more about privacy. I also just want us to quickly talk about why is data privacy important. This map here shows us the world's biggest data breaches and acts all over the world, and it goes from 2004 all the way to 2024. And as we can see, in 2004, there aren't a lot of data breaches that have been reported. But we can see if as we scroll up, we see that there are way more data breaches that have occurred. And with the growth of technology, more data, people's data are digitally collected. They're more exposed to, they're just easy access to the data. So meanwhile, formerly, what we had is people's data were in paper stacks. So someone would have to be physically at the location to be able to have access to the data. But now, with the advent of technology and with the growth of technology, people's data can be accessed from anywhere all around the world without without being physically present at the location of where the data is, if the data were held in paper form. And this is one of the reasons that contributes to why we have more data breaches. And as we already know, technology is here to stay. So data privacy, data protection is something that is so important to the world. And this is why you should consider a career in data privacy and data protection. So I want us to talk about data privacy a little bit more. So what is data privacy? What is data protection? We've already established the fact that this is very important for organizations, important for you and me as individuals as well. I'm sure you don't want your data to be exposed. You want to be able to maintain some sort of privacy. And the same goes for organizations, because they use data from other organizations, from their clients, to be able to provide the services that they do to their clients or their customers. And without data, it's impossible to do so. It's just like, for example, if I want to hang out with a friend, if we're not able to communicate any information, any sort of information as to where the location is going to be, what time we want to be there, or we're not even able to communicate what we want to order, where we want to go, then it's going to be difficult to meet up. It's going to be difficult to have anything, to do anything together. It's the same thing. So when we think about, an organization needs data to be informed about a customer, to know how to serve the customer. It's also important that in collecting this data, that this data can be protected, that we can ensure that this data has privacy implemented. And they want to do this because they want to be able to abide to legal rules. They want to be able to maintain trust. They want to be able to also protect the sensitive information. So if I give my information to an organization and the next thing I hear is my information is out there, the question is, okay, how did you even go about protecting my information? So you see how that can cause lack of trust in the clients. It can also affect the company financially if their customers starts drawing away from them and going to their competitors because they're not protecting their data. It could also bring about legal fines. So if they're being fined based on not abiding to rules, abiding to laws like GDPR, which is General Data Protection Regulation. We're going to be looking at 6 levels, talking about what it takes to be a data privacy and data protection professional. Level 1 is we're just asking ourselves, what exactly is data privacy and data protection? Data privacy is simply, we're looking at what are the rights, the expectations that people have regarding collecting their data, using their data, and sharing their data. And it focuses on consent, it focuses on transparency, focuses on data minimization, purpose limitation, and individual rights. Data privacy is, do we ask people before we take their data? So for example, when you visit a website, one of the things that may come up is they ask you, do you accept that we collect your cookies? That's information about how you're using the website, and you have to click that you accept or you do not accept. That is taking your consent. Transparency is letting you know that your data is being collected and letting you be aware of how your data is used, how your data is stored, how your data is shared. So in a company being transparent with you, they can tell you, well, this data we're collecting, we're also going to share it with someone else. That's them being transparent with you. Them asking, is that okay? Is them seeking your consent. Data minimization is you only collect the data that you need. You don't collect more than the data that you need. That's data minimization. And purpose limitation is using the data only for the purpose that you stated at the time of collection. So if you take someone's data and you tell them, I'm taking your data so I can send you a package, then you only do that with the data. Individual rights is ensuring that people can access their data, they can correct their data, they can ask you to delete their data, they can ask you to port their data, send your data to another competitor, and completely erase it from your system, from your database. And when we talk about data protection is about what measures are we putting in place to protect the data that we've collected? So we looked at privacy criteria. Now let's talk about the protection criteria. In protection criteria, we're looking at encryption. Are we encrypting the data, the cryptography that's being used, making sure that the cryptography is not obsolete, but it's advanced cryptography if possible, or a current cryptography that is still strong enough? And also access controls. Who has access to the data? Are we able to limit access to only those that need to know or need to use the data? Masking the data. So when you go to a website and they say to put in your password, but you can't see your password that you're typing in. It's literally it's masked. So that is what data masking is, and that helps to protect you. So if you're in a public area, you're putting in your password, someone who is maybe eavesdropping or looking over your shoulder cannot see what you're putting in as your password. They can just see those little dots going in the password column. So that's data masking. Data anonymization and pseudonymization is you're altering the data to make sure that you're not able to link the data back to the owner of the data, or able to use the data to identify who the person is. So anonymization is completely anonymous, as the name implies. So there's no way that you can tell that this is the person that owns the data. It's been so anonymized to a level where you can't identify the person. Pseudonymization is just like someone having a pseudonym. So there's a reference where you can say, okay, this data that you're seeing doesn't show anything that has to do with the real data, but you can use that data to identify the real data. And we also look at incident response. What are your incident response plans? What is your playbook if we do have a data breach? If we do have an incident, how do we restore our data? How do we back up our data? Those are questions that we also look into in terms of data protection. And then we also have regular audits, so ensuring that we're auditing our systems, we're auditing our processes, our people, to see that security and privacy is part of what we do. It's also really important. So some key regulations and frameworks that you should be aware of is GDPR, CCPA, IPA, ISO 27001, NIST privacy framework. There are a whole lot of them. Now, if I went into every single thing, this video is going to be a long video. So I'm gonna briefly touch on them. So for GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation, this covers the data privacy and protection for European citizens. And CCPA has to do with California citizens. IPA has to do with health data, health information, any health information. So someone's medical records. ISO 27001 is information security management system. It also has controls in place regarding pertaining to data privacy and data protection. We have the NIST privacy framework as well, which also helps with mitigating privacy risk. What is the importance of data privacy and protection? I think we already established this. Is we want to be able to build trust and maintain that trust. We want to be able to comply to laws, regulations. We also want to be able to build our reputation as an organization that cares about people's data. And then security, of course. Implementation strategies. How do we go to implement data privacy? It's through policies. As we know, when we talk about governance, risk, and compliance, we're really talking about it starts from the top to the bottom. So whatever is at the top flows down to the bottom. And policy is a good example of that. If we can develop policy and enforce policies, and executives can enforce those policies effectively, then those at the bottom will follow those policies. Another way is employee training people as to how to spot phishing. And some other ways are privacy impact assessments, looking at the impact of systems projects on data privacy, data governance, looking at frameworks, practices to manage data responsibly and ethically, technology solutions, what tools, technologies can we use to mitigate the risk of data loss. Level 2, we're going to look at the salaries that you can expect in your career as a data privacy and a data professional. These are the salaries that you can expect to see, the different roles as well. For mid-level positions, these are also the salary ranges, senior level as well, and executive level. These are the salary expectations as of today, as of now. So, influencing factors. What are the factors that can influence the salary ranges? It could be your location. It could be the kind of industry you're in. Some industries that have more critical nature of operation would definitely offer a higher salary. Your experience as well, your certifications that you have, the company size. Usually larger organizations have a bigger budget for salaries. And moving on to level 3 is, how does data privacy and protection relate to cybersecurity? We talked about data privacy protection being one of the domains of cybersecurity in terms of asset security. Data privacy, it focuses on laws, it focuses on ethical handling of personal and sensitive data. Cybersecurity focuses on the protecting the integrity, confidentiality, and availability of information. The CIA triad, protecting the CIA triad of data, while data privacy itself is more aligned with laws, more aligned with ethics, more aligned with safety, but altogether, it all comes together under this just beautiful mix. And moving on to level 4, who are the data privacy and protection professionals? So this set of people, they play a key role in ensuring that organizations, they handle personal data responsibly, they comply with laws, regulations, and usually the skills that are required are skills, they're a combination of legal skills, technical skills, managerial skills. So oftentimes you would find that professionals in data privacy and protection are people that come from the legal field, because a lot of data privacy protection has to do with meeting laws and meeting regulations. Understanding laws and regulations, like we already pointed to, understanding technical skills is also pretty important in terms of encryption, anonymization, pseudonymization, analytics, risk assessments, how to analyze data, data audits as well, privacy impact assessments, project planning, and then just some other skills as well that are required. So if we look at the top job titles that we usually see for this career, so we're looking at, privacy analyst, privacy consultants, chief privacy officer. This is like a senior executive level, data privacy engineer, privacy policy analyst, data governance specialist, privacy legal counsel or general counsel. This is also like senior executive level, data privacy auditor. So level 5. So as much as people are not often excited about when they hear networking, I think this is something that I still want to talk about, and I must talk about, because no one's going to hire you if they don't know you, especially if you're just starting out. So it's important that you join communities like IAPP right here, ISACA, ISC Square. Share about your passion, projects you're working on. Ask for that first opportunity, okay? Because closed mouths don't get fed. So definitely want to ask for that first opportunity. What type of companies are hiring for data privacy and data protection analysts? There's so many companies, but first I want us to take a look at this map right here. So we can see here, this map, why I love this map is it looks at the various domains in cybersecurity. This specifically talks about data security. So the companies that are heavily focused on data privacy, data security, this is what they do. It's not to say that you can't get a role at another company. You definitely can. As much as you're applying to several companies, you also want to make sure that you're applying to those companies that focus more on these areas. So we look at companies like Thales, we look at companies like Broadcom, we look at McAfee and ClearSwift, Druva, Code 42, NetApp. So these are companies that you want to be applying to. For encryption companies, data loss prevention companies, data privacy companies, data centric companies. Your best bet will be companies that are like large corporations, government agencies, financial institutions, healthcare organizations, technology companies, consulting firms, e-commerce and online services. These companies are companies that would often have opportunities, budgets, looking to hire people who are interested or have experience in data privacy and protection. Now, going on to level 6, I drew up this 120-day roadmap to help you get started in this field. So let's say you're saying, okay, thank you for all this information, but I need a more structured approach on where to get started, how many days it will take me, and that's what this is for. So on this column right here, we have day 1 to 60. On this column right here, we have day 61 to 120. So for day 1 to day 60, I broke it down in the first 3 days, what you're going to do for each 3 days. So for the first 3 days is just, sawing the website's IAPP, setting up your study schedule, research foundational concepts, understand why data privacy is important, and the next you want to follow it up by understanding regulations that are there that are guiding data privacy protection, GDPR, CCPA. And then 7 to 9 days you want to look at an introduction to GDPR on Coursera. And then you want to also look at, as the day goes by, look at all the privacy laws like IAPP, CCPA. So as you can see that as the days go by, you're able to build your portfolio. You're able to look at other courses on data privacy, maybe an internship, volunteer, risk management basis, compliance audits, mentorship, getting mentorship, applying for jobs by day 50. Doing mock interviews, continuous learning. Okay, so now it's time to look at real world case studies. So look at companies that have case studies on data privacy engagements that they've done for their clients, and really understand what was the problem they solved for their client. Then you want to think about, maybe come up with your fictional stories, and how can you go about solving those problems? How would you take on that problem? How would you solve that problem based on everything that you've learned so far? And incident response planning, industry networking, speaking with people who are already in the field, making use of LinkedIn, which is an awesome platform to meet other professionals, looking at real-time monitoring tools like Splunk, looking at compliance frameworks, cloud security, data protection tools, how those tools are used, practical application, special topics. Let's talk about like AI data privacy, AI ethics. By day 120, this is like your final phase. And at this phase, you should be able to, find yourself in a role, an entry-level role at this point. If you've gone through the stages of learning, you've gone through the stages of taking a certification, you're going through the stages of speaking with people in the field, making use of LinkedIn, sharing your learning on the platform with others, and really showing interest in getting your foot in the door, getting that first opportunity. Level 7 is, what are the resources for data privacy and the protection community? And I think we already talked about this. So there we have the IAPP, International Association of Privacy Professionals. You definitely want to take a look at the website. We have EPIC, Electronic Privacy Information Center. We have Future of Privacy Forum. We have the Data Protection Reports. Dark Reading is a great website as well. So we have these books listed here. We have online courses, certifications right here. We have forums and discussion groups. We have also newsletters and podcasts. Frequently asked questions. So some frequently asked questions that I often get is, what certification should I get? We already talked about this as well. So the CIPP, CIPM, CIPT, So which sites can I find job listings and data privacy and protection? So these are the websites. Communities you can join, these are the communities. Work-life balance definitely depends on the industry you're in. Other questions that I get are questions around, can you become a data privacy analyst through online education? You definitely can, for sure. I got into cybersecurity and privacy through online education, right from the comfort of my home. That is the beautiful thing about technology, and so can you as well. How do you stay updated to data privacy trends and regulations? The news. You can subscribe to newsletters from organizations like IAPP, EPIC, and FPF. You can also follow industry blogs, publications, attend webinars, conferences, join professional associations. So those are some of the questions that I get. I want to end this video by showing you another map from Information is Beautiful. This map shows us the diversity in tech, and we can see the difference between female, male, and other ethnicities that are in tech. So if you're thinking that you're not qualified, you're thinking that you don't have what it takes, I hope that this encourages you, because we need more diversity. As much as the community that we serve are diverse, we also need the people that are serving those people, the professionals, to also be diverse. So don't think too much about it. Don't think that you're not qualified. Don't think that you can't do it. You have everything it takes already. And in this video, I have given you way more information. So it's a very long video. I've given you way more information that you need to actually get started. Just believe in yourself. Take the information given here and get started in your journey. Don't spend another day waiting. Just jump on it and do it today. Now, I know some of the questions that I often get are questions around sharing this slide decks, sharing my notes. And unfortunately, I'm not able to do so because these notes take me a lot of time to create. I definitely would want to put some guides around it, making sure that it's available to the right source, and if someone is actually getting it, that they are making full use of it. So if you do want the slide note, I'm going to put it up for sale and link it in the description, and you can purchase it if you want. However, I shared everything with you already on screen for free, so you really don't need to purchase it. You don't need the slide notes. You just need to really watch the video and take the notes from the video. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you're gonna enjoy this next video talking about the AI GRC certifications. So click right here to watch the next video.